Hey everybody, thanks for joining in. Hope you had a great weekend. I just want to talk about last night's game. Another just bad loss, another depressing loss by the Jets. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Obviously, none of us thought it was going to be that close. But I do want to go over the game, and first of all, I want to go over the game, and then I want to go over the NFL officiating, which just to me gets worse every Sunday. But anyway. Of course, the Jets came out and they looked flat. The offense looked a little flat. Mahomes, then they put 17 points up to start the game. Up 10 minutes into the game, at 15 minutes, it's already 17-0. I really was inches away from just shutting the game off. I wasn't going to sit there and watch the Jets get blown out by this guy. They're showing Taylor Swift up in the box seats, and it's just I could see this is gonna be a joke. And then after the safety, everything turned around. Everything turned around. The Jets, the defense came, they held them to 6 points the rest of the ball game. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Zach Wilson is Zach Wilson. I made in one of my previous videos, I talked about how I was such a Zach fan, when I went back and I watched some of his BYU tapes, I said, boy, he used to drop dimes on guys. Even when they were covered, whether it's college or not, he was dropping balls in, and that's what he did last night. He was just on the money. He was throwing balls in tight spots, hitting his check down when he needed to, third downs, making third down plays. All the credit to Zach last night. He really shut those guys up last night. And I'll tell you, I thought it was embarrassing to him because before the game, in the pregame show, when they've got all those commentators, they really publicly bashed Zach Wilson. They were talking about how bad he is and how terrible his play is. I mean, this is national television. I really couldn't believe they were even doing that. It was just so embarrassing to him to even talk about it. Whether he's playing bad or not, they make a point to point that out to the fans. Just it was almost like, for any of you fans out there who don't know who Zach Wilson is in the Jets, let me tell you how bad he is and how bad he plays. So anyway, I was so happy to see him shut them up. The Jets played well enough to win that game and should have won that game, because at the end of the day, Zach Wilson outplayed Patrick Mahomes. You can slice it up however many ways you want. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes, period, end of story. And the Jets outplayed the Chiefs. They should have won that ball game. I think the Jets probably should take Dalvin Cook and maybe sit him down. The guy's got no spark to his wheels anymore. He even when he gets the ball, he just doesn't seem to have any kind of a step anymore. Breece Hall, once again, doesn't get as many touches as he should. McCole Hardman, I don't know what he did to get in the doghouse with the Jets, but he doesn't even see the field. If he does, nobody notices. Garrett Wilson made some great clutch catches last night to keep drives going. And the offense looked really good. It looked like an NFL offense. They were moving the ball, scoring. Very easily, that's a Jets win. They should have won this ball game. The defense was just, after they gave up the 17 points, and they looked flat, they looked sluggish, they looked like they just didn't want to be there. They suddenly just became that top 5, top 10 defense we all think they are. Rushing Mahomes all night long. He's throwing bad balls. 2 picks. Should have been 3 picks. Should have been 4 picks, but I'll get into that later on. This is just a devastating loss to the Jets. I'm going to look at it in a positive way. I think if we finally have the real Zach Wilson, the real guy we drafted, number 2 overall, and let him play, open up the playbook, let him play, we're going to win some ball games here. So I'm looking at this as a very depressing, very bad loss for the Jets to even have to take, because they should have won that ball game. But I'm going to also go on the positive side and say, this may be, I may be crazy for saying this, but this might be the turning point of our season. Because let him play like he played last night. Let him throw the ball. Let him get out of the pocket. Let him do what Zach Wilson does. And this was the Super Bowl champions last night. And they outplayed them. And they outplayed the Bills and beat them. They dumped on the Patriot game. Okay, that's in the past. But you let him play, and let's see what he can do. This, in my opinion, might just be, instead of a point where the Jets season is over, this to me might be a spot where this may turn the season around. Let him play. Let's see what happens against Denver. But don't get too excited. This is one game. He's played too many bad ones to have one game suddenly turn everybody's opinion of him around. So that being said, I think this was a great game played by the Jets, the whole team, defense, offense. this is a game we should have won. We had in the bag. And I want to go to coaching now. Robert Saleh, for the first of all, there a 4th and 1 when he goes for the field goal and they miss it anyways. I was screaming in my seat, like, go for it, man. The offense is clicking. They're moving. The Chiefs are on their heels. Go for the first down. Get the first down here. Don't waste your time and try a field goal. It was a 52-yarder. I know Berline is usually pretty good from there, but the way the fans were into the game, the offense was clicking. I would have gone for the first down there, but this is maybe why I sit here doing this and he's on the sideline coaching. But I didn't agree with that call. And there was another one. I think it was a 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. I think he should have gone for it then too. Take some risks. He's a little too conservative when it comes to some of his coaching techniques. The play calling was good, much better than it has been. They finally let Zach Wilson play football. And the defense, although they started out so flat, they just didn't look like they even wanted to be. I thought this was going to be a blowout. They suddenly came around and made this a ball game, a game we should have won. Now, let's move on to the fun topic of the game, is the NFL officiating. I want to tell you this right now. I've made previous videos talking about this. The officiating in the National Football League is by far, in my opinion, the worst in any major sport there is. Baseball, hockey, I don't care what sport, basketball, I don't care what you include in there. The NFL officials are absolutely terrible. Last night, Patrick Mahomes, let's take him one by one here. I'll try to be as brief as possible. He is throwing the ball away. He is not trying to hit a guy that's 15, 20 yards down the field. And their reason for not calling intentional grounding is because, well, the guy was in the area. Well, the guy's in the stadium. He's on the field. That doesn't mean anything. He was inside the box. He avoided a sack by throwing the ball away. This guy was nowhere near that, but they all got to get together. They all got to talk and say, well, you know what? He was on the field, so I guess it's not a penalty. 3rd down and 22. Jets are all over the guy again, all over the coverage. They're playing deep back coverage because they don't want him to throw a 20-yard and get the first down. So what does he do? Start scrambling. But there is a clear hold by number 75 on the Chiefs. I don't know who he is, and I don't care. But he's holding Jermaine Johnson so badly. Both hands on his shoulder pads, on his jersey, holding him from getting into Mahomes. That is holding. How do you miss that call? How do you call yourself a professional referee, officiate anything, and miss a call like that? It is so blatant and so obvious. But guess what? Oops, they missed the call. He runs 20-something yards and gets the first down. Amazing. The next time around, holding on Sauce Gardner, I think it was Sauce got the holding call. The best thing about this call is that the referee doesn't even throw the flag until after the interception. You can clearly see it on the replay. And I'm going to make a video later on today. I'm going to find those 2 clips, and I'm going to point that out so everybody can see. So any of you doubters out there, any people going, oh, here we go with the NFL is rigged again. No, nobody's saying the NFL is rigged. We don't have all the players on the field like the NFL makes that stupid commercial where everybody's sitting in a room and they all get handed the leaflet and everybody's reading, what do I do? This is scripted, what do I do? No, that's not what anybody's saying. All we're saying is it takes one, the referees always seem to tilt the scale. You don't need every player involved. All you need is one guy, 2 guys to tip the scale a little bit. And that is what they do. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's what they do. They have a certain narrative, certain teams, certain players get the benefit of a call. It just happens. There's no doubting it. So the holding call. Now, the holding call itself, bad enough, but that was another interception. The Jets get the ball back there. And now you don't know what the hell's going to happen. So I just know that the NFL officiating is very suspect. And another thing I want somebody to tell me is, why is it that it always seems like a game, there's penalties throughout a game, 1 here, 2 there, when it doesn't matter, when the score is 0-0 or when another team is blowing out another one, and all of a sudden that team gets penalties. Why is it that every single time this happens, it always seems to happen at the most crucial times of the game, late in the game? There's been hardly any penalties the whole game. Now all of a sudden the game is flooded with penalties. What happened? The guys forgot how to play? Now they're cheating or something? They're playing poor? I don't know. I wish somebody could explain that to me, because it seems to happen constantly. Right at the most crucial points of a game, here come the flags. You stop the Chiefs on a third down, holding. You stop the Chiefs on another third down, no call, on an obvious call. The NFL reviews everything. Every single time a guy crosses the end zone, they gotta have a review of it. But yet when there's a blatant penalties, nothing is called. Or when there's bad calls, no review of it. I just don't understand that at all. To me, it's becoming so obvious. If you watch this football, you don't have to even be a big football fan to watch and go, man, that's a questionable call there. I mean, why would you call that? It's so, and it always seems to go against the Jets. Now, I don't know if I'm just being a Jet fan who's pissed off because we lost a game we clearly should have won, but there's just something that's just not right with the NFL officiating. It's just so level to one side, and it's becoming blatantly obvious to me. I just don't get it. But I am going to make another video either later today or first thing tomorrow. I got to find the clips, and I'm going to point it out. And I hope everybody watches it, and leave me comments. If you think I'm just being a Jet fan who lost a game, that we should have won, it's because it's our fault, say something. But I tell you right now, you can't watch some of these plays and not scratch your head and just go, boy, that's just brutal. To make a call like that at a point in the game like this is just a brutal call. So I'm just glad that they played the way they did. They kept Travis Kelce basically out of the game. The guy was invisible. He basically caught a couple balls, but he did basically nothing, which was great because I was happy that we weren't going to get another 20,000 views of Taylor Swift up in the skybox cheering, looking like she doesn't even know what football is. But anyways, a bit bitter loss for the Jets. Just a terrible, depressing loss for the Jets. But I'm going to do my best to think of it as positive. Like, maybe this is where Zach Wilson finally came out, and he's going to show everybody why he was the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. So please leave me a comment below if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm just thinking out of the box here, the officiating is great in the NFL, let me know. But if you don't, I'd love to hear your comments on everything. So just hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, it helps me out a lot. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.